watching The Last Word with me, Marya, Shakil. Today, the Parliament's Ethics Committee witnessed fireworks. The drama at the ethics panel meet where Mahua Moitra stormed out with opposition MPs earlier today. That drama is still continuing to play out. First in, the news that has just come in is that Mahua Moitra has written to the Lok Sabha Speaker. She has said that she was subjected to what she calls prejudiced behavior by the chairman. Subjected to proverbial Vastra Haran by him in presence of all members is what the TMC MP is saying. She also says that the panel has no ethics and morality left. The chairman exhibited preconceived bias. Mahua Moitra also says that she has been questioned maliciously and in a defamatory way. 5 of the 11 committee members walked out with me, is what she says. And she has also said that asked extremely detailed and personal questions, also willing to put my statement on an affidavit immediately. So that is what is breaking right now. Let me go straight to Rajdeep Roy. He is the member of Ethics Committee and also a BJP MP. Mr. Roy, let me begin with this letter which has been written by Mahua Moitra and to the Lok Sabha Speaker, where she says, I've been subjected to the proverbial Vastra Haran by him in the presence of all members of the committee. These are serious allegations.
Look, Ms. Moitra was the third person to depose before the Ethics Committee. Today, when she started at around 11:30, she spoke for long hours. All of us painstakingly listened to her with a lot of patience. We did not interrupt her. We did not ask her many leading questions. And she spoke for a long time and all. And in fact, it was she who spoke on some things which we were not interested in. She spoke on her relationship with her friends, which we were not interested in. She spoke on the issue related to few photographs which were shown in the social media, we were not interested in. She spoke on the pet dog, which we were not interested in. So let us be categorical. The mandate of the Ethics Committee is to look into whether the login ID was shared and whether it is ethical to share this login ID with someone who's not authorized in the Parliament. So our mandate was that. So we had a break in between. We broke for lunch, and then when we came back, Chairman sir was the first person to ask questions. When he was asking questions, initially Ms. Mahua Moitra was answering those questions. She could have, if she thought some of the questions were not appropriate, she could have avoided this question. She could have said pass, or you ask some. Those sort of similar, along the similar lines, the questions were asked to Mr. Jai Anant also by Mr. Reddy the other day. And he very aptly said, I have written in my affidavit, I will not answer more than that. So there are always two sides of a coin. You cannot be moral on one side and immoral on the other side. You know?
But Mr. Roy,
so there has to be an unbiased look into. Let me just finish now. So there has to be an unbiased look into, the entire episode and all.
Yes, that's the reason why we'll also have Congress MP and also a member of the ethics panel joining me shortly. But, she has gone on to say that the chairman exhibited preconceived bias by maliciously and clearly asking questions which were defamatory in nature. What was so defamatory that was she was subjected to in the Parliament Ethics Committee, of which you are a member?
Look, we are all member of Parliament. We represent 10 to 15 to 20 lakh population. So we are not above probity. Something which I am doing in my personal life, of course, if there are certain issues, sometimes I need to come clean on it. I need to answer those. We have seen in history in our Parliament, that lot of MPs have actually initially given the resignation before even coming to the probe. We have seen the case of Lal Krishna Advani ji. He handed over his resignation when his name was cropped up in that Hawala diary and all. So I must tell that your life, despite being an MP, you are not above probity. You have to be probed on certain issues and all. Here the question was on Mr. Hiranandani. Obviously, when he has written an affidavit, given an affidavit that I have given her travel expenses, I've given her gifts, those issues were discussed.
Okay.
I am not going into the details because I am also bound by law. What are the questions
Yes,
that
I
are asked? I
understand.
cannot say this.
But
to my mind, just one second, just to my mind, none of the questions were personal, malicious, and with ill intent.
Okay, then tell me, she's asking for rules which have not been shared with MPs because there's no regulation governing sharing of login and password. Do you think that has been a grey area and the Ethics Committee of Parliament, of which you are a member, will clarify on that front?
Obviously, if there are certain grey areas, obviously it will be looked upon by the Ethics Committee. We will report accordingly. And the Member of Parliament, all of us put together, Treasury, the opposition, will decide on it. But till the time the laws are not framed, does not mean if anyone commits immoral activity, you will escape the long hand of the law and all. It is not practically possible that if the law is not there, then I should be excused and all. Is it what she's trying to say?
Okay, then what happens now? Will the Ethics Committee be submitting its report because the opposition MPs, in all 5 of them who staged the walkout along with Mahua Moitra, are questioning this committee? They are standing with her.
Now, look, we have full faith in our chairman, number one. We have full faith and we are true to ourselves. We have not done anything unethical. We have not asked any personal question, as has been painted by few people and all. We, in fact, after they left also today, we sat for another half an hour or more than that. We discussed a lot of issues, maybe 1 hour also we sat after that. We discussed a lot of issues and we are deciding our next path of action, which is like probably we will sit another time and then frame a report which will be sent to the Speaker of the Lok Sabha.
My last question, of course, is about will Mahua Moitra be allowed to cross-examine Mr. Darshan Hiranandani?
I don't think there is a possibility on that. I don't think so.
All right. Rajdeep Roy, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. And let me go straight to Uttam Reddy, Congress MP and also member of the Parliament's Ethics Committee. Mr. Reddy, what were your objections? Why did you stage a walkout?
You come to this issue, there is, in all the papers that I've seen, there is no evidence of any cash transfer in favor of Mahua or anything that any favor has been done to her. Second, they keep talking about compromising of national security. I think it's a ridiculous thing. I'm an ex-armed forces officer and I don't find any national security issue here. Third, NIC login is a grey area, NIC portal login. There's actually no specific rule regulation about who exactly is authorized other than the MP to log into NIC portal to put your question. I myself give to my PA to put the questions, but please remember there is a safeguard. The OTP comes on the mobile phone of the MP. So whether it's me or Mahua or anybody, somebody else is typing the question, but the final question, the OTP comes on the MP's phone. Only on the go-ahead of the MP is the question uploaded on the computer. So, you know, these are the actualities and I sincerely don't believe that Mahua did anything wrong.
Now, coming to the question or the view that has been shared by BJP MPs and also the chairman of this committee, Mr. Sonkar, that Mahua Moitra was not cooperative and that she lost her cool.
No, I must tell you this, while I'm not authorized to speak exactly what happened in the committee meeting, okay, that's the norm of the parliamentary committees, but I can tell you very clearly, all of us opposition MPs found the chairman's persistent questioning on certain kind of personal issues very objectionable. He would say, why do you go to Dubai? Where do you stay? With whom? Whom do you speak on the phone? See, this is not appropriate for a parliamentary panel. There are only two things the parliamentary panel should address. They are saying cash for question scam. Was there any cash transfer? Was there any big gifts transfer? Then, is there any violation of existing rules of NIC portal login? In my opinion, ma'am, neither is true. I think Mahua is being targeted unnecessarily.
But Mr. Reddy, Mahua Moitra herself has said that this entire episode started with a relationship gone sour. And also she has spoken about a friend's affidavit, which is Darshan Hiranandani, who was a friend. Then why object to questions that have been asked related to traveling to Dubai?
See, nobody is objecting to her being asked questions to the relevant matters. Myself, Danish Ali, Mr. Vaithilingam, Natarajan and Mr. Giridhar Yadav found that some of the questions, the way they were being framed and asked, we felt that the chairman was being prejudiced and biased, and he was leading the the questions in a particular way. We again and again asked him that this is not the way. A lady MP, a talented lady MP, a good orator, we must, this is only an inquiry. We can't presume that she's guilty, and the way you're asking questions is like that. So it is very, very clear that this whole thing started because of Mahua's breakup with her ex-partner. Second, Nishikant Dubey, on whom she has made allegations of false educational qualifications, is trying to target her, on behalf of BJP. So these things are very clear, ma'am, and nothing beyond that.
Okay, the ethics committee sources are indicating that perhaps they won't be summoning any new person now, and they would go ahead with submitting a report for which another meeting will be called to adopt the report. What happens to this committee now?
No, see, I'm not sure what happened after we left, but I'm asking you, if they're basing themselves so much on Darshan Hiranandani's affidavit, why should they not call him for examination? And why I'm saying this whole thing is like kind of fixed is, how does Nishikant Dubey get a copy of the Home Ministry or the IT Ministry report before it's supposed to be a confidential report, before it comes to the committee today? So Nishikant Dubey on behalf of BJP is trying to target Mahua. That's very clear. About what our stand will be in the next meeting, I intend to take instructions from our party and our Congress Parliamentary Party, and then I will go ahead accordingly.
Okay, my last question to you, because I'm trying to understand how many MPs actually were with Mahua Moitra, because all of them staged a walkout. So my question would be very direct now. How many MPs in opposition staged this walkout today?
See, 6 MPs, Mahua herself, who was there as a witness for being cross-examined, and 5 of us, myself and Mr. Vaithilingam from Congress, Mr. Danish Ali from BSP, Mr. Giridhar Yadav from JDU, and Mr. Natarajan from CPM. 6 of us MPs walked out. All opposition MPs walked out. The only BJP MP sitting inside. All
right. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Let me bring in Vivek Agnihotri now, former Secretary General of the Rajya Sabha. Mr. Vivek Agnihotri, it was almost expected that this would become political, and that's what perhaps played out today. My question to you would be about this letter which has been written by Mahua Moitra, in which she has complained against the chairman's conduct, particularly which has been written to the Lok Sabha Speaker.
Actually, I am not supposed to be an expert in such matters, political matters. But I would like to invite your attention to one particular observation made by Mr. Uttam Kumar Reddy, that the proceedings of the Indian parliamentary committees are, in a sense, in camera and confidential. It is not like committees of US Parliament and some other countries. They are confidential. So how are we discussing what happened inside the committee, and how is it something that is being done which is not supposed to be done? That is the first observation I would like to make. The second observation I would like to make is that in jurisprudence, there is a principle of natural justice. And there is a dictum of natural justice, audi alterum partem. That means hear the other party. And that is the dictum under which Ms. Mahua Moitra was called to appear before the committee. So it was an occasion for her to present her case. That's about all. How she presented her case, what the committee has noted, what it will do with that presentation, etc. That is again a matter for the committee to decide.
Yes, since
Now,
you've spoken about principles of natural justice, she has actually invoked that to demand that she should be allowed to cross-examine Darshan Hiranandani.
See, again, let me tell you, the committee proceedings are not like court proceedings. So she has to be given an opportunity to rebut the observations made in that affidavit. She can give another affidavit in writing. And again, it is up to the committee chairman to decide whether he would like to have a Zoom meeting with Mr. Hiranandani and give an opportunity to Ms. Moitra to cross-examine. But that is not normally done in committee proceedings to have this court type of proceedings.
Okay, so then that kind of court type of proceedings usually doesn't happen in committee hearings. That means this is a request that is going to be denied. Are you saying that, Mr. Agnihotri?
To summon the Hiranandani.
Yes. For cross-examination as Mahua Moitra is demanding.
Already one of the members of parliament you interviewed right now has already said that.
Yeah, that's
committee
unlikely.
is unlikely to give such an opportunity.
All right. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Some big breaking news coming in, and this certainly is a very great news. Big victory for Team India in the World Cup match against Sri Lanka. Indian Pacers demolished the Lanka team to bundle them up for just 55 runs after India posted a monumental 358 target for the Lankan team. This is the biggest victory for Men in Blue in the World Cup. Osama is joining me live. Osama, what are your words on this big win?
Well, everyone is at a loss of words, Marya, because nobody was expecting Sri Lanka to fall in a manner like they did. And this is not the first time that it has happened with Sri Lanka against India. Remember the Asia Cup final where a similar story unfolded. Mohammad Siraj was then the wrecker-in-chief. This time around, he picks up 3 wickets. The Indian Pacers go out, all-out attack on against Sri Lanka. Mohammad Shami, who has been the star for India for such a long time, he picks up a 5 wickets haul again. He did it again versus New Zealand. He did it again today against Sri Lanka. In fact, he has become the highest wicket taker for India in the World Cups. He has crossed Zaheer Khan, who had 44 wickets, and Javagal Srinath, who had the same number of wickets. But the good thing is, and the best part about it is that he has done it in only 14 innings as compared to Zaheer Khan's 23 and Javagal Srinath's 33. It was literally a demolition job, a clinic put up by the Indian Pacers when they came out to ball. Sri Lanka, remember, they were very confident of chasing down a total when they put India into bat. Little did they know that India is going to go on and make 357 runs with the likes of Shubman and Virat Kohli, along with Shreyas Iyer posting half centuries. All the 3 almost scored a century. They missed out on their centuries. In fact, Virat Kohli, he became the first batsman to score 1,000+ runs in a calendar year for 8 times. He beat the record of Sachin Tendulkar. He almost got to the 49th century record that Sachin has. And it is just a matter of time that Virat Kohli does that in this World Cup or in the coming series, but that is going to happen. But the big news is that India has literally demolished Sri Lanka and folded them for 50 odd runs. This is just their 7th win in a row. This basically means that India has sealed a place in the semi-final with just 2 matches to go. The next big match is going to be South Africa. But going by what we have seen right now, and going by the form that India is in this particular tournament, it does look like that India is going to reach the semi-finals, and who knows, India going to lift the World Cup this time around. But the big news as of now is that India have beaten Sri Lanka comprehensively by 302 runs. This is the second highest victory margin in ODI cricket. Only Australia have a bigger margin of victory when they beat Netherlands by 309 runs. India have managed to do it against Sri Lanka with 302 runs victory margin. So all in all, great news for Team India. And we all hope and fingers crossed that this continues for India throughout this tournament and we ultimately go and live that World Cup.
All right, Osama, thank you for that recap for us, and also what a game, certainly. That's all from me. Thanks so much for watching.